tasya jnananjanashalakaya chakshurunmilitam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Lord Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Thank you so much once again, dear devotees, for joining the call here today. And we are going to continue from where we left off. And that was way back in January. So which chapter are we on?
7th chapter, Mataji.
7th chapter, you say? And let it be 7th chapter then. Okay, so let's look at chapter 7.
Mataji, I wrote down few points on the shlokas which we have already finished.
Very nice. I was actually going to do a recap on that. And then once we read it through, then you can share your points with us. So very nice. So why don't we actually make it a little bit more interactive? Why don't each one of you read 3 verses? And we can start with whoever is on my screen first. Jyoti Mataji. Jyoti Mataji, are you in a position to read?
Mataji, from the screen, I'll read.
Yes, 3 verses only. Yeah, first 3 verses. Go ahead.
Supreme Personality, Hare Krishna Mataji. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in the full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt." Text 2. I shall now declare unto you in full this knowledge, both phenomenal and numinous. This being known another, know nothing further shall remain for you to know. Text 3. Out of many thousand among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and those who have achieved perfection hardly one knows me in truth. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Sukumalade.
Text 4. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separated material energies. Text 5. Besides these, O mighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mine which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Text 6. All created beings have their source in these two natures. Of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution.
Varshana Mataji.
Yes, Mother. O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in the ether and ability in man. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of the ascetics. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Sutapa.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam. We are all reading 3 verses each. So Sutapa Mataji is going to read us, starting from text number 10.
O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, the intelligent of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men. I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am sixth life, which is not contrary with religious principles, O Lord of Bharata, Arjuna. Know all that all states of being, be they of goodness, passion, or ignorance, are manifested by my energy. I am, in one sense, everything, but I am independent. I am not under the moods of material nature, for they, on the contrary, are within me.
Thank you. Vindhyavali Mataji.
Deluded by the 3 modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance, the whole world does not know me, who am above the modes and inexhaustible. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the 3 modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome. But those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Those miseries, Mataji, can you move it a little bit up? Thank you. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, who are lowest among mankind, those knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demands do not surrender unto me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mata Sangini. 16 onwards, we're reading 3 verses.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna. O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. The distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Of these, the one who is in full knowledge and who is always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. For I am very dear to him, and he is dear to me. Text 18. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service, he is sure to attain me, the highest and most perfect goal. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Kiran Khosla Mataji. We are doing 3 verses. Are you able to read?
Which one?
18, 19, 20.
18.
19, 20, 21.
Text 19. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is, such a great soul is very rare. Text 20. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. Text 21. I am in everyone's heart as the Supersoul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Text 22.
20 minutes, fine, sir. 19, 20, 21. We are doing 3 each, so we'll give chance to others also.
Hare Krishna.
And Deepika, Mataji,
Hare Krishna. Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So, Mataji 21, 22, 23.
22, 23, 24.
Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires, but in actuality, these benefits are bestowed by me alone. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme.
Hare Krishna. Is anybody left? I think we covered everybody got a chance to read?
Yes.
Okay, good. So we did 25. We have got 5 more, so we can get started again from the beginning.
So,
Go ahead, Jyoti Mataji. You were the first to read, right? 1 verse each.
Which one we are reading now?
25.
25, and only 1 verse each.
I am never manifest to the foolish and unintelligent. For them, I am covered by internal potency, and therefore do not know that I am unborn and infallible. Text 26. O Arjuna, as
we
the
are
Supreme
just doing 1
Personality
each.
of God.
We are just doing 1 each, Mataji. So others will also get a chance.
We are reading 1 only?
1 only now. Yeah, because there are very few verses left, right, in the chapter.
Okay.
How many are there in chapter? No problem. Yeah, so
O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows.
Thank you. Who read after Sukamal Radha Mataji? Was it
Varshana Mataji.
Varshana?
O Shrine of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities, arisen from desire and hate.
Who is
Text, yes, Mataji. Text 28. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in the life of whose sinful actions are completely eradicated are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination.
Text 29. Intelligent persons who are endeavoring for liberation from old age and death take refuge in me in devotional service. They are actually Brahman because they entirely know everything about transcendental activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who comes next? Was it Kiran Mataji? Somebody joined us.
And
Parul.
20,
Okay, Parul. Go ahead.
next
Hare
30.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Just go ahead and read chapter 30, Parul. The verse number 30, Parul.
You want me to read it right now?
Yeah. Can you see it on the screen?
Text 30, right? Those in full consciousness of me who know me, the Supreme Lord, to be the governing principle of the material manifestation of the demigods and of all methods of sacrifice, can understand and know me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even at the time of death.
Haribol.
Haribol.
Okay, Jyotimati, I think on your device something is being pressed, so I'm getting these check marks on my screen, green color check mark.
Even I'm getting.
I'm getting.
Everybody,
Mine
getting it,
also
but
got it.
Yeah, I'm also
yeah.
getting.
Yeah. It shows as if it's coming from your machine because it keeps on flashing your name.
What is that check marks? There is something coming on the screen. I really don't know how to remove it.
Okay, we'll live with that. No worries. Okay, so Varshana Mataji, in the beginning, when we were beginning to read chapter 7 a whole, just to get connected back again to where we left off in January, because we have been doing this chapter for quite some time now. She mentioned that she had taken some points. So about this
But
chapter.
all the points have come in the you say in
Yeah,
normal
but still,
translations.
tell us, how
Okay.
many points had you jotted down? What were those that stuck out from all these 30? Some stuck out to you, right? We did.
I'll just read it out.
Okay, read it out.
Krishna tells Arjuna to listen, hear, tachrunu. If one listens consciously, mind attached to Krishna, then it will be possible for him. He will come to Krishna without any doubt. Then he says that what I am telling you today, after this, nothing will remain to be told, to know. And then he says that out of thousands, those who try to know me perfectly, hardly one person knows me in reality. Material energy, he says, is made of 8 elements, that is earth, water, air, fire, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, which is also his energy. Then living entity come under the superior energy, and we are exploiting the material energy. Then Krishna is the origin and the dissolution. Then Krishna is the supermost. Nothing is superior to him. Everything rests on him as the pearls are strung on the thread. Then he tells about the energies, his energy, like you see, the taste in the water, light in the sun and the moon, fragrance of the earth, heat in fire, sound and in earth, syllable syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. He is the life of all living beings and penance of all ascetics. Then he says that he is the seed of all existence, intelligence of the intelligent, prowess of the powerful, strength of the strong, sex life based on the religious principles. Then, Mataji, the 3 modes of material nature are also manifested by him, but he is independent of them. And then he says it is very difficult to overcome these 3 modes, but those who surrender can come over it very easily. And then foolish and whose knowledge has been stolen by illusion, they do not surrender unto him. Then 4 kinds of people, the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, who are in search of Krishna, he says, me, the absolute truth. Then on the contrary, those who are full of knowledge and surrender, they are very dear to me, he says, and he too is very dear to them. I consider them just like me, as they are and they are sure to attain me and will achieve the perfect goal for sure. Those who know that Krishna is cause of all causes, such souls are very rare. Then in the end, he says that people with material desires worship the demigods. And he says that he makes their faith more stronger so that they can devote themselves to the deity. We did up till here, Mother.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you, Mother.
Anybody else had any other thoughts as we were reading? Okay, so then we are ready to go to 21.
22.
Did we do 21 already?
I think so, Mother. My marking is on 22nd only. I don't know, I may be wrong.
We didn't do it.
Since
didn't do
when
it.
these classes are going on, Mataji?
No, that's what I'm saying. I did after coming back from USA, I didn't do any class.
This is the class, no?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Last week I
Mataji,
didn't.
21.
I thought I didn't join.
No,
Thank
you
you.
did not join. That is true because we did have a gathering last week.
I didn't know that.
Where we just no, yeah, I had just told everybody 2 minutes before that because there was something going on at my work, so I just missed posting that I will be teaching the class.
So
we just talked about
last week we had class.
Yeah, we were quite a few of us here,
Oh.
and then but everybody started coming late when they realized
Today, just like that I was trying because I didn't get any information or anything. So
today you would have gotten the information because I sent the information last week itself.
no, I didn't get it.
It's on the Bhakti.
Anyway, I will
So
check.
class started, yeah.
Anyway,
so I won't send information, Mataji, for every class. I will only
No,
send
every class
there
I
is
don't
no
get.
class.
Every class I don't get, Mataji. After coming from India.
Yeah. Go back and read. There is one there.
Anyway.
Let's see what Madhav Sangini has to say.
Oh, Hare Krishna, Mataji. I actually listened to last week's YouTube. I totally enjoyed your description of the yatra. I could vividly
See, I
imagine
missed
what
all
you were
that.
saying. And then I just wanted to say I was truly touched. I was very touched and very much appreciate that you prayed for all of us individually.
Well, then thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you very much,
Thank you so
Mataji.
much.
Thank you very much,
Oh,
Mataji.
wow.
Though I missed the class.
Okay.
Thank you
I
very
don't
much.
know how to get to that video. I would also love to see it.
It's on Facebook. Somebody can put the Facebook link there for Mataji on our WhatsApp group so that she can look at the recording.
Okay, I can put the
Thank you,
YouTube.
Mataji.
Yeah, whatever works.
Okay, I will do it.
YouTube also you were there?
I just watched it after the class, yeah.
Oh. I don't know what happened to me.
Okay, just be glad you're here today.
I'm here
You're doing
today.
7.21.
At least I know that you prayed for us, Thank you very much.
All right, with all that behind us, let's go to 7.21. It's a very nice musical verse. Yo yam tanum bhaktaḥ śraddhayārcitum icchati tasya tasyācalāṁ śraddhām tāmeva vidadhāmyaham. Yo yam tanum bhaktaḥ śraddhayārcitum icchati tasya tasyācalāṁ śraddhām tāmeva vidadhāmyaham. Yo yam tanum bhaktaḥ śraddhayārcitum icchati tasya tasyācalāṁ śraddhām tāmeva vidadhāmyaham. So now let's look at the Sanskrit synonyms. Yaha, like whoever. And you see in Sanskrit, the rules according to the rules of the Sanskrit grammar, yaha is whoever. It became yo because of the aha being followed by y, so that became a ah, became a o, and then this yaha was followed by a yavai, so that became a yo again, like that. So the rules of Sanskrit are like that, right? Yo, yam, whichever. So whoever and whichever. Okay, what is yam?
Whichever.
And yo,
Whoever.
Okay. So, whoever, whichever. Tanum, form of a demigod or demigod, as we say. Okay. Bhaktaḥ means a
Devotee.
devotee. Śraddhayā means with faith. Arcitum, to worship. Icchati, desires. Tasya, to him. Acalām, steady. Śraddhām, faith. Tanuṁ, that. Eva, surely. Vidadhāmy, give. Aham, I. Right? What's the meaning of icchati?
Desires.
Desires.
Desire.
Okay. So here, yaha means whoever. Okay? Yam is whichever.
Whichever.
And then tasya is to him.
To him.
Right? So if this was to be translated into Hindi, you will see the similarity there. So whoever, how would you translate whoever into Hindi?
जो भी.
जो भी. जो कोई.
Yeah, jo, yeah, yo, jo, right? Yam,
Whichever.
कुछ भी.
Whichever.
कोई
अरे
भी.
हिंदी थोड़ी है whichever.
कोई भी.
कुछ भी.
कोई
नहीं,
भी.
कुछ
नहीं,
भी.
no, tell me in the same pattern, like yum pattern.
Got it. That's okay.
कोई. कोई.
Yeah, jis. Jo, jis, right? Jo, jis, right? Okay, and then tasya?
To him. Hindi. उसको.
Us.
Tasya.
दो बार है ना tasya?
उसे.
तो या जो जिस डेमीगॉड को श्रद्धा के साथ भक्ति करने की इच्छा करता है उसको, right? उसको, right? Like that. People to appreciate that more in English, right? English is like to him, right? You won't say in Hindi him, like that. So in translation, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, he says, I am in everyone's heart as the Supersoul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. Purport: God has given independence to everyone. Therefore, if a person desires to have material enjoyment and wants very sincerely to have such facilities from the material demigods, the Supreme Lord, as Supersoul in everyone's heart, understands and gives facilities to such persons. As the Supreme Father of all living entities, he does not interfere with their independence, but gives all facilities so that they fulfill their material desires. Some may ask why the all-powerful God gives facilities to the living entities for enjoying this material world, and so lets them fall into the trap of illusory energy.
That's true.
The answer is that if the Supreme Lord is a Supersoul, does not give such facilities, then there is no meaning to independence. Therefore, he gives everyone full independence, whatever one likes. But his ultimate instruction we find in the Bhagavad-gītā is one should give up all other engagements and fully surrender unto him. That will make man happy. What is that verse?
Sarvadharman parityajya.
There you go, Mataji.
Mamekam saranam vraja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshikshami masucha.
Yes. So you, Mataji, remembered the verse, right? You always say that I don't have memory.
Yeah.
Okay. So then both the living entity and the demigods are subordinate to the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, now look at this. Therefore, the living entity cannot do what? Worship the demigod by his own desire. Nor can the demigod bestow any benediction without the supreme will.
Wow.
As that not a blade of grass moves without the will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Generally, persons who are distressed in the material world go to the demigods as they are advised in the Vedic literature. A person wanting some particular thing may worship such and such a demigod. Yam. For example, a diseased person is recommended to worship the sun god. A person wanting education may worship the goddess of learning, Saraswati, and a person wanting a beautiful wife may worship the goddess Uma, the wife of Lord Shiva. In this way, there are recommendations in the Shastras or Vedic scriptures for different modes of worship of different demigods. And because a particular living entity wants to enjoy a particular material facility, the Lord inspires him with a strong desire to achieve that benediction from that particular demigod, and so he successfully receives the benediction. The particular mode of the devotional attitude of the living entity towards a particular type of demigod is also arranged by the Supreme Lord. The demigods cannot infuse the living entities with such an affinity, but because he is the Supreme Lord or the Supersoul who is present in the hearts of all living entities, Krishna gives impetus to man to worship certain demigods. The demigods are actually different parts of the universal body of the Supreme Lord, therefore they have no independence. In the Vedic literature, it is stated, the Supreme Personality of Godhead as Supersoul is also present within the heart of the demigod. Therefore, he arranges through the demigod to fulfill the desire of the living entity. But both the demigod and the living entity are dependent on the Supreme Will. They are not independent. Let's stop here.
Both the demigod and what is that, Mataji?
Both the demigods and the living entity.
No, what he says, both the demigods
are not independent.
They are not independent. But here he says that we pray demigods under his supervision, they will give the benediction. No? They will give the this thing, no? So how last he's saying that
they are not independent, right? That's what he's saying, that demigods cannot. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, Mataji, I have a question from the
yeah, so let me complete answering Vindhyavali's question, then I will take it. Yeah, so Mataji, what the last sentence is saying, that both the demigods and the living entities are not independent.
Oh, okay. Under his will only they will do.
They will be
doing. Thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. It is said that generally persons who are distressed in material world go to the demigod as they are advised in the Vedic literature. Now, Mataji, we haven't read the Vedas. So how do we know that it is written in the, how do we follow the Vedic literature?
You're not supposed to follow the Vedic literature.
No, we don't follow. But
yeah, because the reason I'm just saying is that you are beyond that. We are beyond the Vedic literature, right? So
but
the whole
Bhagavatam is Vedic
we are reading Bhagavatam, no?
What is given in the Vedic literature that we should, for the material desires, we should go to the demigods?
Yes. It's a few lines ago he said, right? If you want to be good in education, go to Saraswati.
But under his supervision only they will give benefits. Demigods will give us this thing.
Yeah, so Vedas have got Karam
They
Kandi
are not independent, yeah.
So this will come under Karam Kandi, no matter.
Karam Kandi section. Yeah, so Vedas have got Karam Kandi sections, right? And that is why when Narad Muni, when Vyasadeva wrote the entire
Bhagavatam,
documented the Vedas. Then and he was very unhappy. Then his spiritual master said, the reason you are unhappy is that all that you have talked about. See, a person can do things out of innocence and not thinking through properly. And I don't know, I'm not just saying that Vyasadeva did not think things properly or anything like that, because I'm not in a position to comment on the ability of Vyasadeva, whose literature I read. But sometimes they even do drama and play, these devotees. And all of them are meant to giving us some education, right? So this whole thing about Vyasadeva so Vyasadeva documented the Vedas. That is, he wrote them down. Before that, how would people read? How would people know the contents of the Vedas? if it was not written down.
Yeah,
No,
that's
we
true.
wouldn't have known about it.
Sorry?
If it was not written, we would not have read
You
it.
would
You
not
would
have
know.
known, right?
You would
But
know.
before
Yeah.
Vyasdeva, people were there, right? Vyasdeva was writing this down not more than 5,000 years ago on a piece of leaf or whatever, these were written down. So I'm saying before that, how was knowledge passed, right? There was a whole Satyuga was there, whole Dwapar was there, whole Treta was there, right? All these yugas were there.
By word of mouth.
How was information transferred?
Word of mouth.
Through memory, Mataji, they had good memory and they heard them. Heard the
Yeah, word of mouth. Yeah. So it
Acharyas.
starts with the word, right? First, the mouth has to start the word. And then the disciples were so smart and so attentive that Shrutidhar, just by hearing it, they would remember it.
Not now. Kali
Right?
Yuga.
So like when you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadev Goswami is reciting the whole Srimad Bhagavatam for us, right? And he heard it from Sukadev Goswami, his spiritual master. So he just heard it, 18,000 verses. And he had memorized them all. Not memorized them, and then he came to him and be like that. So people were doing that. So he sits down and he starts documenting all the Vedas, and he's not very happy because, and why was he documenting this? He was seeing in the future, because he's Trikaldarshi, he is seeing the future and he's seeing that people will be unhappy. And Kali Yuga is coming, distressful life. And so he said, okay, let me tell them, give them a few nuksas, recipes for how can you be happy in this material world. Right? So if you are foolish, then pray to Saraswati, you'll get gyan. Right? So like that, he wrote down all those things and highlighted only that. And then when he was unhappy, even after doing all this, then his spiritual master, Narad Muni, came and said that you have not glorified the Lord. And that is why you're unhappy. And this is also the nature of the soul. To glorify the Lord is the nature of the soul. The soul is wired like that, right? If it goes against it and tries to glorify other things and does other things, then the soul won't have everlasting happiness. It'll be short-lived, isn't it? When we go and get an ice cream cup, then we don't feel happy for the rest of our life, right? As soon as the cone is gone, then the distress starts, right? So in the Vedic literatures, these things are there. The Vedic literatures are going to tell you that you read that you worship the demigods, right? And so yeah, so in this particular verse, what is happening? He's saying yo yam yam tanum bhaktaḥ śraddhayārcitum. So he's saying that anybody, whoever has got some desires, right? And he wants to worship a particular demigod because he has read it in the scriptures or somebody has told him in the scriptures, right? And why we don't go and read those scriptures, why we don't go and read the Vedas is because Vedanta, after the Vedas have ended, we have gone to that stage. So there's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam that says that Aho bat swapachato yad gariyan yad jibhagre vartate namatobhyam tepus tapastu brahmanur sashnurarya brahmanu namagrihanti yete. I'm forgetting the last line, but anyway, so what he's saying is that Aho bat swapachato, that those who are swapachato, those who are dog eaters. So he's saying that if you see a dog eater is chanting the holy names of the Lord, you should understand that he has read Brahmanuchur. Brahma Unu Brahma Anuchur. Whatever Brahma Uchur, what did the Brahma speak? The Vedas. So whatever Brahma has spoken, he has read all that. Right? And he has taken bath in all the holy places. Because only after you do all those in your previous birth do you come to a situation where you are able to chant the name of the Lord. And so we should not be bothered about that. I haven't read the Vedas. We are beyond all that. We believe in the holy names of the Lord, right? And that's how we just do everything. Okay? So what in this particular verse he's saying is that I give it. And a very classic example somebody was quoting earlier, and very, very apt, especially for those of you who live in USA. And now, of course, India is also catching up from behind. Is that when it's time around Christmas, right after Thanksgiving, you'll see in the mall, they'll put up a big Christmas tree. And then Santa Claus comes and sits in the mall. So there'll be light, Santa Claus is there, and he's the old man, red cheeks, all white beard, red cap, all red dress, and he's sitting, fat man, and he's sitting, right? And then there are plenty of lights around, and there are small pixies, around him. Nice. It almost looks like some sort of a Swargloka, right? And then what do the parents do? They take the child, and the child sits in the lap of Santa Claus, and then he says, "Have you been a naughty boy?" And the child will say, "No," even though they have been naughty. And then he'll say, "What do you want?" And they'll say, "Santa Claus, I want a box of color pencils," or whatever they want. Right? And guess what? On Christmas Eve, they get the box of color pencils. Is it Santa Claus who gives them?
No.
Right? Who gives them?
Parents.
Parents.
Who is our parent?
God is our parent.
God is our parent, right? Krishna is our parent. Mata, Dhata, Pitamaha, Vedyam, Kara, Riksama, Vadire, Vyajure,
So he will give.
He's a parent, right? So this is a classic example of you go, and no matter what you were, whether you're a good girl or you're a bad girl, whether you were a good boy or a naughty boy or not, you just go to Santa Claus. Santa Claus, I want this. Right? But who is actually fulfilling your desire? It's your parent. Santa Claus cannot do anything.
Yeah.
Right? But it's a nice way to try to become a good child till the myth is busted. So like that. So like that, in this particular verse also, they're saying that yam yam tanuṁ bhaktaḥ śraddhayārcitum icchati. So this verse is so very powerful because it's, now tell me one thing. Are there more demigod worshippers or are there more Krishna worshippers?
Demigod worshippers.
Demigod worshippers, isn't it? Yeah. So,
but most of the people, they don't know that unless Krishna's
sanction.
sanction,
Desires.
demigods cannot do anything.
Exactly.
But they think that right away demigod can do the thing, our
Right.
desire.
Right.
So that is the belief most of the people.
Yes. And so, number one, couple of things that are coming glaringly here is that although I might think that I'm worshipping, I mean, I wanted something and I started worshipping a demigod, I do not know that even that capability to be able to worship the demigod is actually coming from Krishna. Krishna is sanctioning.
Yeah.
Without Krishna's sanction, I cannot worship the demigod. And then even more, that without the sanction of Krishna, even the demigods cannot give anything. So the interesting thing is that the demigod, and this very, very interesting thing, the demigods do not have the power, to instill bhakti towards them in your heart. That's what this verse is saying. So demigods are held in high esteem, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have the Navratris and all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, even Mahashivratri went, right, recently.
Yeah. Right. So even the demigods cannot just do that. Right. However, so what happens is that a jiva soul desires. Okay. And all these material desires are ultimately going to give you grief. And I say ultimately going to give you grief is because if they don't get taken away from you during your lifetime, right? I mean, material things will give you grief. For example, if you buy a car, right? Fantastic, very $1 million car. Do you think it'll ever give you grief?
It will give me grief.
It will give. And why are you so convinced? Rightly so.
It is obvious that it will go bad. Sometimes
go bad.
I will have to take it to
You have to.
Yeah.
What else? How in what other ways can a $1 million car give you grief?
I
It
have
could
to
get
pay the
stolen.
EMI, one thing.
It can
That
get
is
stolen.
every month headache, and then it gets
What is the every
suspended.
month headache with a car?
Pardon?
What is the every month headache because of a car?
That EMI, we are paying the EMI. and other-
Will be more.
Maintenance,
Yes.
maintenance, EMI, petrol.
That way, house, car, everything.
Even
Mataji.
small scratch also bothers on such an expensive car.
Wear and tear.
Wear and tear, yeah. Stealing. And then, of course, another good car comes, right?
And then
Next
again
model,
the tension
next
that I
model
want
will
to
come.
buy, I want to change the car.
Depreciation, fuel charges, Gulf War, war somewhere, petrol prices go up, or gas, or electricity, whatever, right? I mean, I was just thinking, like, in my office, they have got these places where you can charge your electrical car. And so one would think, hey, this is a very nice facility. You have to pay money outside. Here the company is saying, okay, plug your car and get it charged. And then till I heard somebody complain like, oh, people come and connect their car and they never remove it. So you see, the other people's cars also give you grief. So these material things are bound to give you grief. So there is Shuddha Kripa, and then there is Kapat Kripa. Right? So demigods ki kripa is Kapat Kripa, not pure. And there is some little fine print there. Right? For example, one would just think that the demigod Brahma gave such a nice benediction to Ravana or to Hiranyakashipu. So, sorry, not Ravana, Hiranyakashipu. Foolproof. Neither in the day nor in the night, neither inside the home nor outside the home, neither by a human being nor by animal. Thou shalt not be killed.
Yeah,
But he was killed.
that's true.
Right? On the other hand, Krishna's kripa is, although it might seem to be very difficult, I mean, we always hear that people say that, look at Shivji, he lives in a Shamshan Ghat, burial ground or cremation ground, and he doesn't have any clothes to wear, right? But look at his devotees. They're all very opulent, right? Durga Puja, you get a lot of money. On the other hand, Krishna's bhaktas, whatever little you have, Krishna will take that away. Because he knows. Because he knows that to get entangled in this material world by material opulences is going to give you even more grief, right? Unless he knows that you're going to use it in the right manner, like that. So Krishna will always give you benediction. For example, if a teenager wants to have drugs, and then the teenager goes to his father and says that I want to have drugs, will the father say yes? No, right? But then if the teenager goes to his friends or to a senior,
They'll say yes.
they'll say yes.
Okay, for today.
That's the thing between demigods and with demigods and Krishna, right? The demigods will give without thinking. Who was it who gave without thinking? Even like, who was that? Was it that Banasura?
Bhasmasura.
Right? Yeah. What's the story of Bhasmasura?
That he just wants what is that?
It's a benediction.
Yeah, but he thinks that he should be dying, and then he wants Mohini. He wants he should never die. I think that like that something.
No, not never die. That is still a harmless desire. What his desire was, I put my hand on somebody's head.
And on somebody's head.
Yeah, he runs, and then he goes and Mohini.
No, don't jump to the story. What was the benediction that he asked for and that was given to him? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
He wanted the benediction that if he touches somebody's hand, he should
Hand?
He should die immediately.
Head,
Head.
head.
Head. Okay, right. And then what happened?
He'll die.
He himself puts his hand.
And then
So he wanted to
after
touch
Brahmaji,
Shiva's
and
head,
Brahmaji
Lord Shiva's head.
ran towards Krishna, and Krishna said, "Okay, I'll tell you. You touch your own head. You try it once." So he touched his head and he died there. He got burnt.
Yeah. So ultimately, the demigod gave him a benediction, and ultimately he got killed because of his own thing, right? So we have to be careful about what we want, what we ask. You might just as well get it. Sometimes they say, right?
That is the misunderstanding, ma'am, Mataji. When they pay demigod, they will right away, they will be getting the result. That's what the false this thing believe.
Yeah.
So that is why many people, they pray demigod. But
Because
like
it's quick.
Bhasmasura, they will get the thing and they will
Yeah.
burn themselves.
Yeah. So going back again to my question, that and then which you all answered, and which was that, are there more demigod worshippers, or are there what is the meaning of demigod, by the way, the word demigod?
Huh?
The meaning of the word.
Devta.
Why are they called demigod? What does
Because
demi
they are
mean?
not
They-
actually God, so that is why.
They have
Dem-
also worshipped Krishna.
Yeah.
And he has
What's the word demi? Demi. What is the meaning of the word?
Devta.
Is that demigod? Demigod.
Demi. Look up the word demi. What's the meaning of the word demi? E-M-I. Demigod. Right? We always say demigod, demigod.
E-M-I.
Who is a demigod?
Demi means it doesn't have any strength.
Mataji,
Means half size.
it is like they have both
Partially
qualities, right?
inferior.
They have the human quality also, but they also are superior to humans because they have a divine quality.
Yeah. That is there. But it means half size.
Half, exactly. Demi means half God. Half God. Half God. They're not full God.
Yes.
So they're not able to do everything that Krishna does. They are just half gods, right? So now the interesting thing, when we look at this verse, and then when we say Krishna yoyam, what is it? Yoyam, yo yam.
Whoever.
Yo yam yam.
Tanu means
Whoever.
Tanu means
Yam
Whichever.
yam means whoever.
Yeah, but I'm asking Tanu now. Tanu means
Whichever
form.
form of
Form of the demigod. Tan, right? You see, tan is your body, right?
That.
The body. So look at Krishna's magnanimity. That somebody wants something, and he's going and and Krishna's making his desire to worship the demigod even stronger, right? And so when this person goes to worship demigod, what is he going to do? He's going to flatter, right? Sing praises, sing, do this, do that, right? That's what. How will you satisfy a demigod? You will offer.
Also, we had to pray.
Right? Yeah.
By praying, fasting.
Yeah. And what is where? Where's will be
offering.
glorification? Right? So now, suppose you are working in a company and you have the CEO of the company there, and you go, and CEO of the company is sitting in a boardroom, and others are also there who are lower than him. And then you start glorifying somebody who's lower than the CEO. How do you think the CEO is going to feel?
He will not feel good.
Like it.
Not feel good, right? But look at the CEO of the entire universe.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Right? And what is he doing? You have a little desire to go for a demigod, and he's strengthening that desire for you. Because he's saying that I don't want that. Because that is a give and a take. Right? That's a give and a take thing. That you are giving anything to the demigod because you want to take something. So if you're praising the demigod, you're actually flattering the demigod. Right? So there is a difference between flattery and glorification. Right? Glorification will come out of love. And this is what Krishna is hungry for, what?
Love.
Love.
Right? He doesn't care about anything. He already has everything. Right? So he knows that glorification comes out of love. These people, whatever the relationship is going on between the living entity and the demigod, it's not a true relationship. It's a give and a take. Once the demigod gives you the thing, you might not even turn back to the demigod. And next time again you want it, we will shamelessly go to the
You'll go back.
we'll go there again. Right? But Krishna is, so this shows the magnanimity of Krishna, that he says that, okay, you want to go glorify demigod? Go. Right? And he's not concerned whether you recognized him or did not recognize him. You did not flatter him. He's just waiting for the day that when you will glorify him out of true love for him. Right? True love for him. And so the true love is not there for Krishna. And that's why we are carried away by demigods and attached towards going for demigods. So Krishna at that point, so why should Krishna do that? Right? Why should Krishna allow them to do that?
Mataji, he does it so that we don't go astray to other things. At least we are believing in something, and Krishna is supporting. He is there. He's there to support. Without his consideration, no demigod can give any benediction. So
that is true. That is a fact. But why do you think Krishna would still say, okay, let them go to the demigod and get it from him?
At least they have some faith. So they say that at least they have some faith.
So they are practicing how to have faith, and ultimately, so how will that faith ultimately turn to faith towards Krishna?
Yes.
Right? How is that going to happen?
Mataji, when we get, frustrated by, that kind of a happiness that is not long lasting, when we realize that, and then only we, turn towards Krishna, that this is not the truth, this is the right thing, and we are.
So how will we know that there is Krishna? Because all that I knew was the other demigod.
When we get frustrated and when we meet the devotees, Mataji, association.
That is the key point. You meet the devotees, right? Now, so what, and what is the condition and what makes your chances grow higher for meeting a devotee is that although you are doing demigod worship, right, which is not recommended at all, at least the demigod worship keeps you in the sattvic mode, majority of the demigod. Will at least take you from the lower modes of material nature to a higher mode of material nature.
Correct.
Right? Because you're doing demigod worship, unless you're doing some of the other demigods, but majority of them will take you there, right? And of course, once you reach from the sattvic or the mode of goodness, to rise even higher and go to the transcendental mode where you are worshipping Lord Krishna, that comes either from the mercy of Krishna or from the mercy of the devotees, Srila Prabhupada, who have written books and who have translated, right?
Mataji, one question comes up in my mind, that we have read about Brahma, that he has a limited lifetime, he also has to be. What about Lord Shiva?
There are so many Shivas. There are grades of Shiva. Like, for example, the Rudras, right? The Rudras come out from between the eyebrows of Brahma, right? And then there is Shiva in every universe who handles the modes of ignorance, right? And then there is Sadashiva. So the Rudras, the Shiva in the mode of the demigod who controls the mode of ignorance, they will all be demolished because they are created as part of this creation. But Shiva, the Sadashiva, he actually doesn't even live in this material world. or in this universe. He lives in between the universe and the Golok Vrindavan, his loka, right? So he is in between that. And so that part never gets destroyed. Even when all the universes are destroyed, it stays there. So that's why he's known as Sadashiva. And that Shiva is the glance of Vishnu. So Vishnu doesn't dally with, like Masamita says, he doesn't handle Maya like that. So how does he impregnate Maya so that the jivas are all born? Because jivas are in the body of Mahavishnu. All the souls are in the body of Mahavishnu. So from there, how do they enter Prakriti? Not like that, right? As you see in this world. But it is through the glance, and that glance is known as Sadashiva. So that Sadashiva is non-different from Krishna. Rudras and
this is a sentence I wanted to hear from you, Mataji.
Yeah.
That he is not different from Krishna, but still Krishna is the supreme personality
yes,
of
because
Godhead, but he is not, right?
Yes, and the Shiva will have some qualities less than, less than.
Some discussion was going on, Mataji, between the devotees, and then this question was raised. So I wasn't sure. I said, I'll ask Mataji when we meet.
Yeah. So we go for Krishna, right? So because things to read in between the lines here, right? Then also something interesting to understand is that
so Mataji, Rudras and others will be demolished. Only Sadashiv will remain.
Yeah, Sada. Sada means always.
Always.
Right, yeah. So going back to the verse from today where he's saying that I strengthen their faith, and we saw, right, that whatever Santa Claus gives us is actually coming from the parents. Whatever demigods give us is actually coming from Krishna, like that, right? So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then also in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, when we go there, he says that neither these demigods nor these sages are able to understand me. And why are they not able to understand me? Because they come from me. So if you have Krishna has created you, you will never be able to understand your creator, right? Because you have come out of him. So the main thing here is that they are creations from Krishna. Krishna has created the demigods. They're parts of Krishna in that sense, because in the universal form of Krishna, you hear, right? Demigods are the upper part. And then they are devotees of Krishna also, we have to understand. They're devotees of Krishna, and then so should keep that in mind. So that's why sometimes when we talk out and we get into Krishna consciousness and we see that, these demigods, they are, useless, and look at Indra and he's all that. But we should not get into that blasphemy mode, because a devotee never blasphemes or gets into criticism and things like that. Let them be. Let them be. Whatever they're doing, Krishna will take care of that. I don't have to get into that, right? I will live my life as a devotee of the Lord. That, right? Now, one more, and the last thing I wanted to point out in this particular verse is that, let me bring up the words. Where is my Zoom? Oh, okay. So, yo yam yam tanur bhakta. Okay, now we are going to look at the word meanings. Okay, the word meanings, and then the translation. So, yo was what? Whoever. Yam yam, whichever. Tanum, form of a demigod. Bhakta, devotee. Śraddhayā, with faith. Arcitum, to worship. Icchati, desires. Tasya, to him. Acalām, study. Śraddhām, faith. Tanuṁ, that. Eva, surely. Vidadhāmy, give. Aham. And if you look at the translation, what does the first line of translation say?
I in everyone's heart.
Everyone's heart as a super soul.
Okay, now let's go back and look at the synonyms. Where is the mention of heart in the super soul?
Okay, so the faith, Shraddha.
But where is super soul? Śraddha is not super soul.
Śraddhāṁ.
The word-to-word translation, if there was a computer doing the translation, would be this. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, and not only that, it would be a computer will translate as like, whoever wants to worship whichever demigod, then I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity or that particular demigod, right? That's how it would have been translated. But then the fact that I am in everyone's heart as the Supersoul. So this is the beauty of Srila Prabhupada trying to explain things to us a little bit more detail. And that's why you'll find that his translations are value added. They're not just a blind translation from the word by word into English language. So one of you said Shraddha and you were halfway there. So yes, the word is Shraddha. And the connection Prabhupada is making. Where is Shraddha? What does Shraddha mean?
Faith.
Faith.
Yeah, Shraddha means to where you put your heart. Shraddha, put Shraddha, faith, right? Heart. So where you put your heart, that is Shraddha, right? So he's making that connection in the translation. He's saying that where your heart is. Now, in your heart, you have the desire. Okay? And who else is there in your heart? He's trying to tell that to you. Who else is there in your heart? Krishna is there. Okay? Who else is there in the heart of the demigods?
Krishna.
Krishna, right? So that is how the connection is made. You will do a word desire, Krishna will hear that and he'll transfer it to the other Krishna. What's the name of the Krishna who's in your heart? Which type of Vishnu is he?
Atma.
Paramatma.
Which Vishnu is he?
Faith.
Nirodhaksha Vishnu.
Love.
Kshirodakshay Vishnu.
Vishnu.
Okay, so then on that note of Kshirodakshay Vishnu, we will take a leave, and Sutapa Mataji also wants to take a leave. Are there any last minute questions or reflections that come to your mind? We are over our 7 o'clock time.
Thank you, Mataji, for a nice class.
Hare Krishna ji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Very
Thank you
nice
so
class.
much, Shraddha Mataji.
Mataji.
I like that you said one word for the mercy of demigods, that they give
Kapat Kripa.
kapat kripa. And
So we learn about that demigods, this thing, mercy.
yeah.
Nice.
But Ganesha,
And Mataji, people still remain very happy with the kapat kripa also.
That is foolishness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is why when a person surrenders to his spiritual master, he says that I am foolish. And you will also see so many exalted saints in their poem when they are describing themselves, they are saying, I am very foolish. Because they start understanding nuances. As we are growing up, our idea of somebody being foolish versus somebody being very clever is a foolish person is one who cannot do mathematics, right? Doesn't understand, doesn't pick up languages, that person is foolish. But as you delve into spiritualism and go into the deep philosophy, your concepts change, right? Jal Bharat chose to appear as a foolish person because he was the most intelligent. He had realized it in his previous births. So, yeah.
Most people look for appreciation and they
Hare
want
Krishna, Mataji, can I speak something?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm sorry for a lot of distraction today because I'm in hospital. My husband is admitted. So, there are a lot of screen distortion which I could not settle. And speaking also was not audible, I think. I'm sorry for that.
No problem, Mataji, not at all. We understand and we pray to the Lordships that your husband gets better and comes back home fast.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hare
Everybody,
Krishna,
let's
Hare
just
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
let us all in unison let's do that pranam one more time. Hare Krishna Mahamantra, starting with 3. 1, 2, and 3. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna, Hare Hare. There you go. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Devotees will not stop from praying. That's what Garima Mataji is going on. Okay.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you.
At least I was debating all these in the last week and all. I don't know. Last week I should have done what I did today. I just turned on my computer and I said, let me see whether we have class or not. So that's how I got into this. Good. I would have done last week itself, but I don't know.
No problem. No problem. You can set an alarm on your cell phone for 9 o'clock p.m. your time. It'll remind you of the classes.
No, usually 9 o'clock I sign in, but I just debating whether class is there or not. That's what the thing.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I take your permission to leave the class. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
Namo Namaha.
For Premanande.